I'll start out with this graph. This is a winter storm watch for all of southwest Missouri and a chunk of southeast Kansas. This is issued on Saturday, and the storm is forecast to be here Tuesday, so that's a fairly high confidence value. And as you can see when I start showing you the models, I think it's justified. We're going to use the GFS model to get an idea of the timing of the precipitation. Looking at this snowstorm, first of all, as you can see, we have that rain departing the area here as I record this. That is over in this part of the world here, and that is a fairly large area of widespread heavy rain in Tennessee, Kentucky, but that's going bye-bye. We have Arctic air filtering in here from the northern plains. And we have a little bit of backlash of snow here this evening. It's possible. A little bit of sticking snow is possible here in parts of southwest Missouri as this particular weather system, which is much stronger east of us, but we might get a little backlash of that, either way, here this evening. Now, if we just keep moving this through the future here, nothing going on Sunday, just sunny and high pressure centered just to the north of us. But now we start getting into precipitation moving through. That's a little clipper system right there in northern Missouri if you're heading that way. That's not going to amount to much. But then this is what heads at us. This is 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. You can see the precipitation breaking out in earnest there. So we just have this band of snow, and I think it's mostly going to be snow for everybody in southwest Missouri and even northern Arkansas. There might be a little sleet mixed in with that in northern Arkansas, but I think the air is sufficiently cold enough. So if we go through the day here, it looks like the heaviest snow is setting up right there, and that time there is about noon on Tuesday. Still going strong, getting a little stronger to the east of Springfield. Notice that purple color is sleet. Sleet tends to cut down on precipitation totals quite a bit. Whereas that blue is a fluffy snow, so it looks like it'll accumulate pretty well. And then still going on, this is 9 p.m. on Tuesday, and still some backlash snow finally ending by Wednesday morning. It looks like Wednesday morning at sunrise, or 6 a.m. roughly, that snow will be gone. So that kind of gives you an idea of the timing of the snow we expect on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, one thing we can do is get right to it, right, and show you this. No, you got to get rid of that. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Well, let's get right to it, right? Let's talk about snowfall totals. So a couple of things to know before I show you the model output here. First of all, if we looked at individual runs of the models, and most of them run 4 times a day, you would go running into the streets if I showed you the one from 18Z today. But the reason some of the models are going crazier on snowfall totals is because of the ratios we're expecting here. So a 10-to-1 ratio is fairly common. That means if we had 1 inch of liquid water, that would be 10 inches of snow. Well, when the air gets really cold and the snow gets fluffy, it doesn't take as much moisture to get the snow totals up. So I think some of the individual model runs are keying in on that a little bit and going a little bit crazy with snow totals. So what I like to do, at least when you're 3 days out like we are here, this is being recorded on a Saturday, so and this is for Tuesday and Tuesday nights, so I look at the ensemble run. So on any given model, an ensemble run is simply you run the condition, you run the model several different times, change the initial conditions a little bit, and you see what kind of spread you get in the output of whatever you're looking at. And then what I'll show you here is the mean of all those runs, if that makes any sense. So this is 10-to-1. This is the GFS ensemble run. So we'll just kind of move this forward, and you'll see here that little snow right there is just tonight's backlash, Saturday night. But look at this coming at us. This right here is Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Already by noon, we have 2 inches according to this model, with 10-inch totals there in Nebraska. This is midnight on Tuesday. We're looking at 9 and 10-inch totals across southwest Missouri, and maybe even a little bullseye there where we're getting up to, close to a foot. So that would be that darker purple area right there that we're talking about. So that's, again, one model's opinion. It's kind of glossed over and smoothed a little bit is one way to look at that. And now and we'll look at another one. All right, same idea, just a different model. So this is the European model, but same ensemble kind of idea, same information about the snow. Now we'll move this one forward. This one's not as intense, but if we start getting in through here, this is Tuesday morning right here, less accumulating by Tuesday morning with this model. Then about an inch at noon. At 6 p.m. we got about a 3 to 4 inch total going maximum across southwest Missouri. And then by the time we get to 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning, this model is printing out, anywhere between 6 to 7 inches of snow maximum right there. So not that much different from the GFS ensemble model. But what's interesting about it is it bullseyes the same area, south, central, and southwest Missouri, parts of northern Arkansas. And when forecasters like myself see that kind of consistency, it kind of makes us think that it's actually going to happen. So you can pretty much look for snow here, I think, on Tuesday, starting early in the morning and going through Tuesday night. Amounts still to be determined, but I think the positioning of the storm is actually pretty good at this point. So, and there is no shortage of cold air as the snow is going on and afterwards, of course. We'll look at the GFS model. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. There's no shortage of cold air. In fact, this is some of the coldest air of the season, if not the coldest for us here in Missouri, with sub-zero readings coming into play big time. So pre-snow, it's still pretty cold. This is the GFS minimum temperatures, and we'll just kind of go through here, and we're looking at Monday's low temperature down in the teens, and then these are just 24-hour periods. So by Wednesday at 12 a.m., we're looking at a low temperature of 8 degrees, 3 by Wednesday morning with sub-zero readings in Kansas City and St. Joe. And we keep going here through, and of course the coldest mornings are going to be Thursday, I think, and Friday. So we have a -7 ending at 12 a.m. on Thursday, a -11. So that's probably a pretty good idea what the low temperature will be on Thursday morning, -11. That's one model's opinion, but I think it's pretty accurate. In fact, almost all of Missouri is below zero at this point. And if we just keep going forward here and just kind of watch, it doesn't really get all that warm really during this period, and finally we have minus sub-zero readings right through the week, and we finally break out of this over the weekend a little bit by getting into the teens for lows. But yeah, lots of cold air, and there's some wind chill with that too, so a very dangerous winter pattern here starting on Tuesday morning and going through basically the rest of the week.